You didn't imagine it. The intensity, the attention, the way they made you feel like you were the only person in the world, that was real. Or at least, it felt real. Because no one fakes something that convincing, right? Then explain this. How does someone go from obsessed with you to emotionally distant, almost overnight? No warning, no explanation, no closure. Just a shift so subtle. You start blaming yourself for it. But here's the part that should disturb you. This change didn't just happen, it was always coming. And what you're experiencing right now is not confusion. It's a transition from idealization to devaluation. And what happens next is where most people completely lose themselves. Stay with me. Because there's a moment in this phase, a specific moment, where everything flips permanently. Most people miss it. And once they do, they spend months, even years, trying to fix something that was never broken. We'll get to that moment. But first, you need to understand why the love bombing had to end. But here's what most people get wrong. They think the love bombing ended because something went wrong. It didn't. It ended because it worked. Love bombing doesn't fade. It doesn't naturally slow down. It stops. And that's your first red flag, because real connection evolves. It doesn't disappear. But here's the chilling truth. The version of them you fell in love with was never sustainable. Because it wasn't real. It was constructed. Every compliment, every "I've never felt this way before," every intense emotional moment was designed to fast-track your attachment, not to build love, but to build dependency. And once that dependency is locked in, they don't need to perform anymore. She thought she found something rare. He didn't just text her. He studied her, her favorite music, her childhood stories, her insecurities, and then he mirrored everything. It felt perfect, too perfect, but she didn't question it because it felt like love until one day. She sent a message. No reply. Hours passed, then a day, then two. When he finally responded, it was cold, flat, almost like she was talking to a stranger. She thought, maybe something's wrong. So she tried harder. More effort, more patience, more understanding. And that's when it happened. The shift. Not in him, in her. She stopped being pursued and started chasing. And that's the exact moment he gained control. Here's what most people don't realize. The moment you start chasing, the dynamic is already broken. Because now, they're no longer trying to win you. They're testing how much you'll tolerate. And what they're about to do next is not accidental, it's strategic. They don't disappear completely. That would make it easy for you to leave. Instead, they give you just enough. A random compliment, a sudden "I miss you," a brief return to who they used to be, and your brain reacts instantly. Hope, relief, addiction, because now you're not attached to them. You're attached to the possibility of them, and that's far more powerful. Now, there was a moment she still can't forget. Not the beginning, not the love bombing, not even the arguments. It was something smaller, something quieter. One night, she was lying next to him, close enough to feel his presence, but somehow, it felt like he was miles away. So she turned and asked softly, "Are you okay?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm fine." But he didn't look at her, didn't touch her, didn't even acknowledge her presence after that. And in that moment, she felt it. Not confusion, not anger, something worse. Disconnection. The kind that doesn't come with a fight, the kind that doesn't give you a reason, The kind that makes you question, how can someone be right here and still feel gone? So she did what most people do. She moved closer, tried to reconnect, tried to bring back the version of him she used to know. But the more she tried, the colder he became. And that's when it happened. Not loudly, not dramatically, but internally. She started shrinking. She stopped asking questions, stopped expressing feelings, stopped expecting anything at all. Because deep down, and she thought, if I just become easier to love, maybe he'll come back. But he didn't. And the most painful part? He never actually left. He stayed, physically present, but emotionally gone. And that's what trapped her. Because how do you walk away from someone? This is where it gets disturbing. They're observing you, your reactions, your tolerance, your breaking point. The more you forgive, the more they push, the more you stay, the more they withdraw. Because now, you've proven something dangerous, that you will fight to keep them, even when they stop fighting for you. He used to feel chosen, like she saw something in him no one else did. Then suddenly, everything became criticism. How he talked, how he acted, even how he cared. One night he asked, "Why does it feel like you don't want me anymore?" She smiled, not warmly, but almost knowingly. "You're just overthinking again." That sentence stayed with him, because from that moment, he stopped trusting himself. And once that happens, you don't need control anymore. They control themselves. This is where you start disappearing, slowly, quietly. You overanalyze everything, you become hyper-aware. You suppress your needs. You accept things you once rejected. And the scariest part? And you don't even notice it happening because you're too focused on getting them back. Here's the truth most people avoid. They didn't change. They revealed themselves. The love bombing wasn't the real version. And once you understand that, everything starts to make sense. But also, everything becomes harder to accept. If it hurts this much, why not just leave? Because this isn't just emotional, it's chemical. You've been pulled into a trauma bond where pain and reward are mixed. So now your brain associates. Distance equals panic. Attention equals relief. Silence equals anxiety. And breaking away feels like withdrawal, not freedom. There's something almost no one talks about. It's not the moment they hurt you. It's the moment they act like nothing happened. One day, after everything, the distance, the silence, the cold behavior, they come back, calm, soft, almost like the person you first met. They look at you and say, "I miss you." And for a second, everything inside you pauses. All the confusion, all the pain, it goes quiet. Because this is what you were waiting for. Proof that they still care. Proof that it wasn't all in your head. So you let your guard down. You open back up. You feel relief. But what you don't realize is this moment isn't a repair. It's a reset. Because now they know something for sure. That no matter how far they push you, you'll still be there when they come back. And that realization changes everything. Because from that point on, they don't need to be consistent. They don't need to explain. One, they don't even need to treat you well. They just need to disappear and return. And each time they do, you lose a little more of yourself until one day, you're no longer waiting for love. You're waiting for relief. So here's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you trying to fix the relationship, or are you trying to get back to how it used to feel? because those are not the same thing, and one of them was never real to begin with. Now be honest. When did the shift happen for you? Was it sudden, or did you ignore the signs at the beginning? Comment it below, because someone else reading your story might finally understand their own. And if you're still watching this, you're already deeper in this than you think. Like the video, subscribe, and watch the next one on your screen, because what comes after devaluation is something most people are never prepared for.